It seems like it's been forever. It's been probably more than a week and a half since I've managed to sit down and film anything. So I thought it'd be nice today just to ease back into it and not do anything too crazy. I just wanted to share all of my finished pages in Kerbyrosanes books. Now I do have a couple of duplicates of his books where some of them I've worked in, some of them I've not, and I've got some books of his that are not my favourite that I've changed to tester books now just to test different supplies out. So let's move this out of the way and get into it. And I am using a different camera today. I have upgraded, so hopefully the quality is a little bit better for you guys. And I've managed to hook my Blue Yeti microphone to the camera, so I'm hoping that the quality is going to be a little bit better with the sound as well. But please do bear with me. It's going to take a couple of videos, a couple of different settings and be messing around until I get it perfect and just how I like it. Anyway, so I'm going to start off with Colour Morphia. Now this is a mixture of his older books. Yeah, so Fragile Worlds and World Within Worlds are not in this one. They didn't come out at the time. What have I done in here? Some of these are really early pictures. I remember using oil pastel for the first time on this and trying to blend it out with Zesty, and it did not work, and I ended up switching to soft pastel for the background. But at the time I was so proud of this with all the details. It was a really early one, and I can feel that there's some stickles. Why I've not gone over the whole area, I don't know. So what else have we got in here? Just sort of splash of colour. We've got this little parrot, and I think I did this one with water brush pens. I don't remember the brand. I'm just checking that it wasn't alcohol markers, but I don't remember the brand. This again was a very old one, and then it was probably Black Widows just for a little bit of shading. It's on the trees. I've barely done any, to be honest. And would you class this as a double page spread? It's probably not, is it? So it's not too bad that I didn't do the other side. This is a more recent one. It was done last year, I think. I think I did a start to finish of this one actually on the channel. I'm pretty sure I did. Mostly watercolour. I'm really pleased with how this turned out. I still love the colour palette on this. I think it's really lovely and vibrant. And lots of gel pen. But yeah, if I remember, or if I can find the video, because I've got over 200 videos I believe now on my channel, I will link it down below, or put a little card up. Is it here or down here? I can't remember. I'll put a little card up just in case you're interested in watching that. What else have we got? Kerby's boots are absolutely fabulous for any sort of water mediums. Now this is my first attempt of this page. I'm going to keep this open to one side because I want to show you my more recent version of this. But again, at the time I was really proud of this. I don't think I was at the point where I was using any sort of paints, like acrylic paint. The background there, I think that's probably, it can't have been Posca because it's not paint. It might have even been a Sharpie pen, you know, all the black here, and I've gone ahead and added stars and stickles. But I'm not overly happy with the colour choices in this. Again, when I first did it I was really proud of it, but I will just keep that to one side. Oh, I've done the Beatles as well. So this would have been the, I think, the Marco Raffine pencils, which I've not got anymore. My son uses them for school. Yeah, they're okay. They're a good budget pencil. So I will just keep that to one side. I think it's in a Morphia. Let me just check first before I... Can I get that out of frame slightly? Let me just see if I can find that T-Rex page. And I can show you that quickly and I can put that book away. There we go. So this is the most recent one that I did. I love this. I added my own background of the volcano erupting with watercolour paints and a mixture of acrylic paints, I do believe. But I did spend a lot of time on the skin of the T-Rex. But I'm not going to be able to get this all in frame. But if I show you like this, that'll be better. Side by side there. And all I can say is practice, practice, practice. If you love your hobby, if you love what you're doing, you are going to get better at it. If you're spending a couple of hours, an hour a day on it, you are going to get better at it. And yeah, I spend at least 2 hours, at least, doing some sort of art. And I love my improvement. I do. I really love that page. I'll put this away now and show you the rest in this one. So I have to pop him on the floor. Which one is this one? Imagine Morphia. I think I did say that already. So let's start from the beginning. And we've got the beetle in this one, which I did with watercolour, I believe. And possibly Jane Davenport's mermaid markers, because it has bled through a little bit. Well, this was just an easy page. Not too much going on there, not really much detail as in pencils, and I've used some stamps as well actually in the background. Or it might have even been embossing powder, I can't quite remember. So we've done the tiger page. I'm not overly happy with this. It's an acrylic background and then watercolour. There's no pencil work on that whatsoever. So why have I got a tag there? Oh, I started the shark and not come back to it apparently. So that needs to be in my whip pile actually. So yeah, that would have been Winsor & Newton watercolour paints. I genuinely actually forgot that I'd started this one. And it doesn't help that the tag is bent, so it's probably not sticking up. So yeah, I'm going to keep that one out. That's the tiger. And then we've got the T-Rex page that I just showed. We've got the camel page that I never came back to finishing. I just didn't like how it was turning out. I think it was all watercolour this. And I think the camel is too yellow. I could save it if I really wanted to, but I'm not overly fussed about that one, I've got to be honest. And that is everything out of there. So that is going in a separate pile, so I can finish that shark off. So we've got Anamorphia. I know I've done a few in here. Can we start off at the back? I'm still getting used to having long nails back, so bear with me. We've got the peacock in here. Yeah, we've got the big double page of the peacock, and again this is watercolour with a little bit of Prismacolor shading, and then some, it wasn't stickles, it was just like a cheap, it was like a gel glue glitter. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick up the shine. Oh, there you go. But yeah, just an easy one that. Not too much detail in that one. And then we've got this mixed media page that turned out to be a disaster because I didn't let the glossy accents on the eyes dry properly. And then I've closed the book and then opened it back up again and then it's ripped the eyes off. So it makes it look quite comical. I should probably go ahead and just draw my own eyes on there. But yeah, we've got washi tape, scraps of different papers that I had, some glitter paste, stickles, oh there's all sorts, and it's even coming off on my hand so you can go back on there. That was fun, that page though. It wasn't about the end result, it was about having fun with that page. And I definitely did do that. Right, these next two boots are not my favourites, and I had no knowledge that he released them as one boot together, because together it's not a bad size boot, but separate I think we got a bit, I think we got less than half the pages to be honest. So I've ended up just using this as a tester boot because I don't overly like many of the pages. Like I've used alcohol markers in that just to test the colours out. I've used Bouchot powders in here as a tester just to see if it would bleed through, and it did. Yeah, I know there's one or two that I've done. Another one that I started and didn't finish. The dinosaur page that I didn't come back to. I did actually finish this one, and this was done all with Neocolor 2s. I do like how that one's turned out actually. So I think the next one is Phantomorphia. I just treat it very similar to the last one. Luckily the colour Morphia has got quite a few of these pages in already, so if I wanted to colour them, they're in that boot. But I did finish this one. I remember using stickles on this area here and a Posca pen in the background. We've got the testing again of the Bouchot powders. I've just kept them in there for some reason. I do like this page. I might take this out of the book and scan it in and put it on different paper, but we've got a bit of bleed through as well at the top there, possibly. We've got this one, again I can see that that's Neocolor 2s and it's alcohol markers. So I'd have done a couple in each of the boots. My sister would love that page. I might actually take that one out and colour it and give it to her. I think she would really like that one. We've got Mythomorphia, which is probably still my favourite of Kirby's boots, even though he's released the World Within Worlds and the Fragile Worlds. I still love this one. In my opinion, it's the best one. I just love everything about it. And I have got 2 copies of this one. So let's start off at the back. I think I love this one the most because it was the first one that I got, the very first Kirby book. And I know that because I tested out all my alcohol markers, not realising at the time that they bled through. I didn't even think. But you learn, don't you? See? So I've lost my merman there. So we've got this double page, and this is an old one. And I've even got a piece of wax paper in between. We've got acrylic background, so I started going mad with the acrylic backgrounds at this point, I think. A lot of watercolour. I couldn't tell you what I used on the dragon itself. It's been a long time. Well, considering it is my favourite, I haven't done a whole lot. So I did the Griffin, which I think everybody in the community, in the colouring community, has done colour with clothes tutorial on the background on this. I've seen so many done, and this was a very early one, so I did follow her tutorial. My blending wasn't too bad actually, and it was probably Neocolour 2s for the cliffs and the mountains, because I wasn't overly confident with pencils at the time, I believe. Yeah, we've got some shiny stars there. I'm lucky, it's a nice day today, it's nice and bright. I do apologise in the past for bad lighting in my videos, but I can't film at night time whatsoever. With me being right in the corner of the room and there's a window behind me, it casts an awful shadow, so I sort of have to rely on natural light. I have got lamps and stuff that I could use, but I think natural light is just the best. Anyway, this one, I've got a book, I can't remember the name of it. I did get it off Amazon though. I will try and link it down below if it's still available, but it's got loads and loads of different colour combinations, and I just passed my husband the book and I said pick a colour combination out of that, and he picked this for me, and he thought that this pinkish colour was brown. I don't know whether he needs to go and get his eyes tested again, but that is like a pinky red to me. I don't know about you, but that is definitely pinky red, not brown. But yeah, overall the actual colour scheme, I love it, how it turned out. I think it's beautiful, and I used the Mod Podge Extreme Glitter, and I think this was one of the first pages that I used the Mod Podge on. And if I just bring you in ever so slightly closer, you'll be able to see. You see it all a shine, and it makes the paper a lot thicker as well. All the way camera, all the way. This is literally the first time that I'm using it to record, so bear with me. But yeah, it makes the paper really thick. What else? Me with my words today. Else. It's else. I did start this one with Neocolour 2s, I believe, and I didn't like how it was turning out. It's a bit silly of me because I can go over the top of it, but I have got another page anyway if I wanted to do that. The werewolf. And I did this around Halloweeny, not last October, the one before, and it took me about a week to complete this because Kirby's boots, they are big boots, even if you just did a page this size, but when you've got a double page spread like this, it does take quite some time. And even though that I used some sort of watercolour, I did go over the top with pencils as well. I love how he turned out. I think I was going for more of a grey wolf, and he turned out like an ice blue. Anyway, I still like that one. What else have we got in here? I think that might be it. Yeah, we have a no-no on this page. I was testing out a new acrylic paint, not realising that it was quite opaque, and I couldn't colour over the top of it, and it was shiny. See? But never mind. So we're back to the dragon again now, and that's the horse. I should really redo this one, and then do a side-by-side of how they look. So that was Mythomorphia. We've got World Within Worlds, which again I really do like, but not as much as Mythomorphia. And the first one is the Pterodons. I'm just double checking, yeah. pterodons, because I know someone's going to say it's got a P at the front, it's pterodons. I love how this one turned out. Again, I was going for, I've got a little a colour wheel, so it shows what colours go together and that are complementary, and you know, and I ended up going the total opposite, so green and pink. They clash, don't they? But I think it works on this page. I wasn't too pleased with the background. I ended up using black acrylic, and then I used it was like a white chalk, and it was going down really weird, and I ended up just rubbing it in with my finger and saying that it was mist and it was meant to be there, but it wasn't meant to be there. It was a mistake. But nonetheless, I like this page. And you've got to love dinosaurs. Oh, I forgot to mention, it's still healing at the moment. It's going a bit scabby. I only had it done to, what day were we, Monday? Yeah, 2 days ago. But I've got my 3 dragons there from Game of Thrones, my tattoo, and I love it, and it hurts. And I was a baby, even though it only took about 15 minutes. I think I did this one on the channel as well, and I used the Pretty Excellent watercolour paints. Now, I've not used them watercolour paints for a long time, and I think I'm going to pull them back out again because they're really, really nice, budget-friendly watercolour paint set. But when you sort of accumulate all of these art supplies, I sort of say now, it's not just colouring and art that's the hobby. I find collecting art supplies a separate hobby as well. So when you accumulate all these different things, you sort of forget what you have and haven't got, and I've gotten myself into a bit of a rut and just using the Winsor & Newton. I use the Cotmans, and I've got 6 or 7 of the professional ones, so I sort of got myself stuck in a rut of just using them paints. But now looking back, look how vibrant and beautiful this is. I mean, the background did take me about 3 or 4 layers to get it, you know, looking quite even, but considering how much the palette was, I'm gonna have to pull it out. Would anybody be interested in that? I'll use them paints in a video if anybody wants to see that. We've got the whales, which were the Winsor & Newton Cotmans, I believe. I didn't have any of the professional ones at the time. Beautiful, beautiful. I love how this turned out. I love the pastel colours. I'm really, really pleased with how this turned out. I think these pages were sort of like what sparked my interest in liking watercolours, because the paper took it so well. Where if I use the watercolour paints in like Amazon printed paper, it didn't turn out like I wanted it to. I didn't have any watercolour paper at the time, and I started in these boots. I'm sure I did, and that's why I started getting more into watercolour paint. So it's thanks to these boots really. This one was a buddy colour, I believe. I'm sure it was with Debbie from Debbie Loves to Colour. I'm sure it was, and hers turned out loads more gorgeous than mine. Hers was so vibrant. The background on hers was all coloured pencil, I believe, and it was gorgeous. And the dogs from next door have decided to come out. And you'll never guess, they've gone and got another Chihuahua puppy, so they've got 5 Chihuahuas next door. Anyway, I think I did this on a live stream. I'm pretty sure I did do it on a live stream. We've got this one with the carnival, and I used the Pretty Excellent watercolours on this one again. And look how vibrant it is. It is beautiful. And just some stickles as well. Now this one is still a whip, and I really don't like the outcome. I've started doing a bit of shading. I don't even like the shading on it, and I've wrote down what I've used. I just think that I'm going to have to scrap that page, and if I want to do that, I'll have to use it in my other book. This is another page that I really, really like. What else have we got? We've got the dragon, which I have done this one again. Where's my other copy? I've not pulled it out, so I will be right back. I must have had the video paused for about 15 minutes now because I was trying to wait until them stupid dogs next door shut up, but they're not doing it, so all I can do is apologise. They're really annoying. So yeah, I did use the KJ Designs by Karen watercolour paints on this one, just for a little couple of details. I forgot that I'd done this one, so I have got 2 copies of this book as well, and I've only done this one page, and this is the one that I did, so probably best showing you like this. And this is my Game of Thrones inspired page, and I based this off Viserion. Spoiler, he gets killed and gets brought back as a zombie dragon, well, a walker dragon. And I love, as you can tell, I'm obsessed with Game of Thrones, especially the dragons and Daenerys. I've even got my watch. Now I've gone ahead and got a tattoo. So any sort of colouring page that I can turn into Game of Thrones, I am going to do. And this is up on the channel. I don't think I did it as a talking video. I think I did it from start to finish, and this possibly might be a voiceover. But I googled a picture of the eye. It's just when he'd just been changed and he woken up and his eye just pinged open. And that was the end of the episode. I was like, oh my god, and I cried as well. My husband can back me up with that. I cried like a baby when that happened. But I zoomed in on the eye to get these effects, and that's just colour pencil blended out with a Derwent blender. Now, as you can see, it did have all these buildings. So all I used, I can pull it out, I've got it handy. All I used is the Americana white acrylic paint, and I've put about 4 layers of this, 4 thin layers, like watered down-ish layers. Let them dry in between each coat, and then I went over the top with, oh, what are these ones called? The Faber-Castell, the Pitt Artist pens, just for the black, and then a bit of white gel pen, and then Prismacolor for the actual pencil work. But yeah, I love how it turned out. I'm so pleased with that. But that's the only one that I've done out of that one. And I think, is that everything out of this one? No, I did the, I nearly said astronaut then. What word am I thinking of? Asteroid. Asteroid, is it an asteroid? Is it an asteroid? I'm pretty sure it is. But I used watercolour on most of this, and I've just splashed black acrylic paint and white acrylic paint, and I'm just checking there's nothing shiny on this page. There is nothing shiny on this page. How on earth did I forget that word? Well, this is another one that I've got that I really want to start. Actually, let's put a bright green one on, and we'll put it closer to there, because that's where I'm more likely to see it. So I can start that one soon. But that was World Within Worlds. And then the last ones I've got Fragile Words, and again I've got 2 copies of these, and I've got a good explanation why I've got 2. I've got one for mixed media and one for purely dry media, so just like pencils, alcohol markers, tombows, that sort of thing. So I'll do the pencil one first, because that's the one that I've done the least in. Oh, we've gone past one. And I did the bat, and it was just pan pastels for the background, just a really easy one for that. It does look quite dull actually. In hindsight, I probably should have made the orange like more like a yellowy orange to make it pop. But yeah, I still like it. And then we've got the little butterfly on this page. If I can just move the book, thank you. We've used distress ink in the background, but I've not wet the paper. I've not done my usual splatter effect because I didn't want any wet things in this book. I wanted to keep it really nice and crisp, the pages. And that shiny black that you can see is the Jelly Roll pen, which, you know what, I was using it literally last night and I won't be able to find it now. There we go. It is the Jelly Roll Glaze Sakura in black, and it's absolutely fabulous. Really good gel pen that. It gives like a bumpy texture to the paper almost. Right, so that's just them 2 that I've done in that. I do like using mixed media more than just pencils. I've got to be honest, I just get bored with pencils, I really do. If I've done one area, if it's a portrait, I'll try and do the background in mixed media, or vice versa. I get bored too easily, and I'll end up not finishing the page. Right, now this is a finished page from last month that I forgot to include, which is silly really, because I videoed this, I believe, from start to finish. So it will be in this month's finished pages, when technically it's last month's. And we've used watercolour and acrylic paint and a little bit of Prismacolor on this. But again, this is up on the channel if you are interested. We've done the little turtle, really simple, easy, distressing background. But you can see it's a lot thicker, this book. I want to tackle this page, but I've seen it done so beautifully that it sort of intimidates me a little bit that I'm not going to be able to pull it off, but we'll see. I did the froggies, which I love how this turned out. I think this was the first page that I did out of this book, I believe. So what else have we done? See what I mean? I'm quite messy when it comes to mixed media, so you know, that's why I do like to have 2 copies of boots that I really do love, and you can't beat the price of Kerby's boots. They really are so affordable. This was from last month, I believe, all watercolour, and I love it. I had to go ahead and add blood to jars, even though there's 2 on this page. Really super cool. I enjoyed doing that one, and it took so much water, it was unbelievable. But you can see it's not bled through, but it's soaked through the back. What else have we got? We have the leopard that I did last month. Really super duper proud of this one again. I think I did go ahead and I did some pencil work in the background, and I thought, you know what, sod that. So I ended up going in with watercolour and acrylic paint, and that's how I pulled off that effect. And it was so much quicker, so much easier. And yeah, and it was for the, let me just double check, Derwent drawing pencils, I believe. I talked about this last month a lot more, because I remember more then. We've got the wolf that you've not seen. Is it a wolf? I can't remember what it is. Or is it a dog? But you've not seen this. This will be in this month's finished page. And again, this is all watercolour and a bit of Prismacolor popped over the top. But I did prep this page with the liquid satin. Just this, just the thin layer all over the top, because I knew I was going to put a lot of water on this page, a lot of watercolour. So I just prepped the paper with that, and it's managed to let me create some good watercolour effects actually. What else have we got? Oh, you know what? This was the first one I did. What was it? I did record this. I don't know, I've slept since. But I wish I'd done the skull a little bit of a different shade there. I'm not happy with that one. Another one I'm not happy with, the Galapagos Island, the lizards. What are they? Not Komodo dragons. No, that'll annoy me. Number 70. I need to find that now. I know that the Galapagos Island something. Iguanas. That's what they are. But yeah, I wasn't happy with this at all. I hate that I added the orange and the yellow on the fish. I tried to do a watercolour salt background at the top. I hate it. And then that's the one I just spoke about that you'll see in this month's finished page, when technically it's last month's. But yeah, that's everything that I've done in Kerby's books. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. I just thought I wanted to film something a little bit easier, a bit more light-hearted, and I didn't have to sit down and colour for hours and hours and hours. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new, please do subscribe and like the video if you did, and leave a comment which one was your favourite one. I think out of my newer ones, this is probably my favourite, but all together that T-Rex, the T-Rex that I did more recently, was my favourite, just because I love dinosaurs. Anyway, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.